Hey guys, Ashlane here with you today with my Vexthal account, Town Hall 9. I've been farming really hard lately. Well, I shouldn't say lately. The last few days I have been traveling to Finland for the Clash Royale tournament, but I've been farming hard before that, and I'm getting ready to do it again. And I wanted to show you how I'm maxing my walls really quickly. Well, I shouldn't say maxing, but level 9. I'm almost all level 9. Let me check here. I have one more level 8 hiding somewhere. Let's see if we can find it. But I farmed them all up to level 9. I have a few level 10s as well. We're going to get these all maxed out to level 10 before we go to Town Hall 10. I found the last wall right there. Now we officially have all the walls done. So you can see here I'm getting some nice loot, and I'm using Valkyrie farming. Now you can use this really with level 2. I would recommend level 2, but even if you have level 1, you can get away with it, the level 1 Valks against some villages. But level 4 certainly is the way to go, and if you can get max in your clan castle, it's even better. I'll show you some examples. It's very easy to 3-star any base, and that's really why the army is so effective. You can get all the loot in the bases that you're hitting. I prefer farming with this strategy in as high a league as possible, because even if you're Town Hall 9, you're more apt to be matched with, obviously, or find other Town Hall 9s in matchmaking. So, as you can see, I'm starting out with the Queen Walk. I'm going right into a Mass Valk. I love taking one heal spell, one rage spell, and 2 jump spells in this army comp. I'd actually prefer a poison in the clan castle, but really you can make it work with any spells. But if you go against a lot of low hit point troops, sometimes it's a little bit difficult. It's nice to have that poison spell. It's a little bit more versatile, or helpful I should say, than the earthquake. Maybe less versatile, more helpful. So anyway, you can see this village here, you're just going to use 2 jump spells. You can place the jump spells before you go ahead and drop the army, because the Valkyries are so fast against these bases, against any base really. This is actually a great strategy for hitting Town Hall 10s too. I'll show you the next attack we'll do against a Town Hall 10, and then I'll show you a live attack as well. So you just want to be patient, make sure you find a base with a lot of loot available, and obviously this raid is only costing you not too much, about 100,000 elixir for the healers after the league bonus, and then it's costing you about 3,000 dark elixir. So certainly takes a lot of dark elixir to make this army. You can recoup some of that in your league bonus. You're obviously able to recoup a lot of that if you're hitting bases with a lot of dark elixir available, but this is not a dark elixir farming strategy. Quite the contrary. The reason it is so effective for farming, and this can be used really at any Town Hall, 8, 9, 10, or 11, to be honest with you, and the reason it's so effective for really quickly farming your walls up is because you're making such a huge gain both in terms of gold and elixir, both of which you can use on your walls. So certainly a really viable farming strategy. You can see against the Town Hall 10 here, Inferno Towers 1 max, 1 level 2 there. Not a big deal, to be honest with you. I want to go ahead and start my queen, and the only thing about these super queen attacks is if you see an air defense that is a couple squares inside the perimeter of the wall, and you know your queen won't target them, and they can target the healers, you want to avoid that. We'll see if maybe we can find a base like that, and we can discuss how to attack it once we hop into the matchmaking in just a minute here. So you can see the queen doing her thing there. She kind of got stuck on a wall, so I decided to just go ahead and start the second portion of my attack here. Now the reason I like 1 rage spell and 1 heal spell is very important, because heal spells usually work better against Valkyries at Town Hall level 9 than necessarily the rage spells. But you need that rage. Well, you don't need it, but I prefer that rage spell when you do any sort of super queen / queen walk healer queen raid. That's because oftentimes you need that rage spell to keep the queen alive and to make sure you can extend her walk to as long as possible. I'm still finding plenty of success with the 3-minute time limit as opposed to the 3-minute and 30-second. Obviously, you could still go on those really long walks with the extended timer, but now that they've reverted it back to 3 minutes, you can still make do, and oftentimes, like this raid, the queen will end up starting and ending the raid for you. So you can see 90-something% against the Inferno Towers is really not that big of a deal, even with level 4 Valkyries and not level 5. Now level 3s could probably take an Inferno Tower too. Level 1s and 2s, you're kind of pushing it going into the especially max multi-Inferno Towers, even though that was level 2, I believe. But let's go ahead and do a live raid here. This is not enough loot for me. Like I said, I'm looking for at least 500,000 minimum, maybe 600,000 minimum when you go ahead and include the loot bonus. So So at this point here, we're going to look for a nice, healthy raid. Haven't been having a lot of problem finding a lot of loot, and look at this. This is really nice here. It will be over 1 million loot once we factor in the league bonus, and of course, with this army, you can 3-star pretty much any base at Town Hall 9. Doesn't matter how upgraded it is. This is not very upgraded. So this is perfect, too, for that whole air defense thing I was talking about. You can see the air defense that we're starting the Queen Walk was the only air defense that was actually along the outside perimeter of the base. The rest were essentially 2 squares in, or I should say 4 squares into the base, kind of where that queen is. Actually the northeast, excuse me, air defense is also along the perimeter, but the other 2 were more inside the base. Now, when you're designing a base defensively, it's always a good idea to have those air defenses a little bit more towards the interior of the base. They make the queen walks a little bit more difficult. Not impossible, but a little bit more difficult. You can see here, I'm actually going to I popped the queen ability and used the rage because I was a little late on that rage spell. Wasn't sure if I was going to need it. So it's not a big deal to pop both the ability and the spell there, the rage spell. But obviously, if I played it a little bit smarter there, it would have been even easier. I wouldn't have had to use a spell. But either way, I'm pretty confident this is going to be a pretty easy 3-star here. I used both my jumps clumped up over there. There was no easy way to access the core with 2 jump spells without having to use them alongside the perimeter. And we're just going to go ahead and you can see I dropped my heal towards the center of the base. And I could have used one of those poison spells on the enemy queen. If there's nothing in the clan castle, it's always a good idea to use poison spells on the enemy queen because it actually dramatically decreases her fire rate. That can save you a lot of enemy DPS targeting your units on these raids. So now that the healers conveniently, after my queen died, go ahead and switch over to my Valkyries, just doing me a favor, helping them keep alive through that wizard tower fire. And you can see I have plenty of Valkyries up here as well in the north. Just a really easy attack. You can see almost all my Valkyries from the entire raid are still alive. So it kind of just goes to show you that this can certainly get the job done, even if you don't have level 4 Valks. Even level 2, I've seen a lot of my clanmates have a lot of farming success with. Now, I would recommend considering switching your army, maybe 2 attacks like this with the Valkyries, and then switch to 1 attack with a cheaper army. I prefer using a super queen, a queen walk, and then I'll transition into just a straight up Barch army, maybe adding in a few giants to drop first to distract the defensive units, but that's pretty basic, pretty easy. If you want to see a video on that strategy, I'd be happy to do so. Just go ahead and comment below, let me know, and I'll bring that to you guys next. I also am working on climbing back up to Masters League now that I have a little bit more time to play on this account, and then farming without heroes in Master League. I said I'd bring that to you guys quite a while ago, and I've just been so busy, I haven't had a ton of time to play Vexthal other than just these, sporadic raids throughout the day. But you can see really nice stuff. And guys, go ahead and try it out. Have a lot of luck, and hopefully you'll finish your walls just like I did. So thanks so much for watching, guys, and as always, take care.
We don't play for fame, we don't play for cash. We just play for the glory and the crash of the ash.